I have for you it's not going to surprise you what Tucker Carlson said here, but it does represent something that I try to keep reminding people of, that a portion of our country has become so detached, not, kind of misinformed, so detached from reality that it's incomprehensible for me to even understand what happened mentally to their brains to get to this place, as you'll see represented in Tucker Carlson's statement here.
When the leaders of the world told us that our natural rights, the ones we were born with, were going to have to be suspended. We had to do this to, quote, flatten the curve. It's been the refrain for the past years during the COVID pandemic, which was totally real.
Wait. The largest cable news host saying the COVID-19 pandemic, which was totally real. Let's watch that one more time. This is real stuff we're talking about.
So you remember back to COVID, when the leaders of the world told us that our natural rights, the ones we were born with, were going to have to be suspended. We had to do this to, quote, flatten the curve. It's been the refrain for the past years during the COVID pandemic, which was totally real. Well, this week we heard the phrase again.
What are we talking about? Just casually saying, and don't even, if anyone says he didn't say that with what I'm about to say, I'm gonna be angry. What he is saying there is that the pandemic wasn't real. If you say it in that tone of voice, it's totally real. You're saying it wasn't real. That is so unbelievably dishonest and just not factual, but so casually thrown into his monologue there. And so, as I was saying, this represents, because he is not the person getting deceived. He's the deceiver, but he's just trying to tap into the audience that is watching him. Now, does he also bring them further and make them even more radical? Yes, but then he's also tapping into the radical nature of what they want to hear and saying that too. So people love that. They love hearing Tucker Carlson say the whole COVID-19 pandemic was faked. And these are people who, you bet many of them have had people in their life die from COVID, and yet and still are going to believe that it was this big plot by Fauci and China and all of these things to blank, ... fill in the blank. I honestly don't know. I can't get my conspiracy brain on enough to come up with an ending to that sentence. But it just shows you we are in a new era. There's always been dishonesty in politics. There's always even been liars, but not like, hey, I'm going to sit on a bench with you. We're both going to look at that grass, and with a smile on my face, I'm going to tell you that it's, purple. We'll both sit there and we both know it's green, but I'll tell you it's purple. And then more and more people, I'm just going to keep going with this analogy. More and more people will start getting on that bench, and for some reason, a bunch of them are going to truly start believing that the grass is purple. That's where we are. It's so different, I think, than any other time. I think it has a lot to do with social media and getting in an unprecedented way into echo chambers and into misinformation bubbles. But right there, Tucker Carlson just tossing that in so casually, the idea that the COVID-19 pandemic didn't happen. And to me, that is so disrespectful to the over 1 million and millions of people across the world who have died, who lost their life because of COVID-19. And he's saying that didn't happen. That wasn't real. Those are fabricated numbers. It makes me really, really angry. And I think calling Tucker Carlson out for this type of stuff is important. That's why you'll see me cover him a lot, because the only way we can pierce through is broadly as a movement, calling out as loudly as possible people for this new way of thinking, where you get to just take a paintbrush and depict your own reality however you would like it, say whatever you want to say, believe whatever you want to, and it's creating a really scary world for us.